Cool. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday night Team Fire call. If you are brand new, welcome. I see some people are joining the line. Super exciting call tonight. Let me start by introducing myself for the new faces. My name is JC Aruzan. I and my wife, Leonie Aruzan, have been involved in this idea. I personally have been involved in this concept now for 6 years. Leonie joined my organization in 2016, so she's been involved for 4 years. So together we have 10 years of World Ventures experience. We've been on 50 plus vacations together. When I started this concept, I was 26 years old and I was working at a bank. I was a banker for Bank of America, and through this concept, I was able to leave my career in 2017, 2.5 years after working this business part-time. I left the banking world. I was single when I started this business, and I'm now married with my first baby on the way. So needless to say, a lot of amazing things can happen if you open up your mind to new opportunities, and if you open up your mind to network marketing and the concept of residual income. Your life can be very, very different a few years down the road. I think back to when I started this journey. My goal was just to make a little bit of money, travel more. And, I think back now, I was thinking so small. And if you're on here and perhaps you're like, man, I just want to make a couple $100. It'd be nice to pay out my car. I urge you to think bigger. Think much, much bigger, because life could be so much different if you expand your mindset. Who I am today compared to who I was in 2014 when I joined this company, it's not even, you wouldn't recognize that guy. And personal development is an incredible thing. It can open up so many doors for you. It can open up, lift so many glass ceilings that we have in our minds. And I'm telling you, I haven't had a boss for the last 3 years other than my wife. She's the only person that's allowed to tell me what to do. But other than that, life is incredible. I own my own time. I own my own freedom. I don't have to report to anyone. And I'm not saying that to brag to you that my life is incredible. There are always challenges and tribulations, but I can tell you this, I'm in control. I'm in control of everything that happens Monday through Sunday. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what we want for you. We want for you to have financial independence, for you to have financial freedom. And that's why we started the Team Fire. And that's why we do these calls every Sunday night, to keep everyone together, to bring the group together, to bring all the new people together, recognize you for what you're doing out in the field, and all the new faces that are making a lot of big noise. So I want to start the call with how we normally start. I'm going to share some slides, and let me just share my screen here and just go through our regular slides, recognition. So the purpose of these calls is always to obviously bring everybody together, but to also recognize and give a shout out to those who are out there making things happen, and also to recognize the brand new people who are joining. And this week we have Juan, who I saw on the call. Juan, welcome to the team. We have Stacia that joined, Deja, I hope I pronounced that right, Deja and Jalen. So welcome to Team Fire. Welcome to the family. I hope that you see this opportunity for so much more than what it is, and you really run with it. And that's the first step. You're on this call, and that's the very first step to success. Also, I want to recognize two new two-star reps, James and Erna Trice. I see JT pop up on my Telegram chat all the time. This guy is out there working, man. He's making moves, and I believe he's been in the concept for maybe a month, not even that long. It seems like I just started seeing him a couple weeks back. So listen, man, congratulations on achieving the rank of 2-star rep. The very next rank is the residual income rank, which is a huge rank. It's where life starts to change 1/15 of the month at a time. That's the best way to put it. Life starts to change 1/15 of the month at a time. For those of you who do not know what happens on the 15th, that's when we all get our residual checks from World Ventures. So life will start to change 1/15 of the month at a time once you become a 3-star rep, and that's the very next rank. Also want to recognize Jessica Dines from, now I think she's in Jacksonville. Man, I remember when I met Jessica many years back. This is actually her second go around, and this time she's way more serious, as you can see. Obviously becoming a 2-star rep very, very quickly. And I remember the first time, man, she's got such a story, and I can't wait till she becomes a 3-star rep and a senior rep so you can hear her story. I personally know her and all the trials and tribulations she went through the first time around, and now to see her back in here and really pushing and hitting the ranks. It's incredible to see. Super proud of you. Super proud of you, James. Erna, welcome. Congratulations on all success. Look forward to seeing much more from you guys in the very near future. And moving on forward, apps to download. Make sure if you're brand new, I know Juan is on here. There's a couple people that are brand new. Take a screenshot of this. Make sure you get these apps on your phone. They're crucial for building your business. Obviously, you already have Zoom. Get the WME mobile app on your phone. Telegram, we have Telegram. Drinkers Concierge, if you're a gold, platinum, or titanium member. Obviously, you have the Dream Trips app, the Dream Trips preview app, so you can share with your friends. The Badass Global app, it's an incredible app. Martin, our international marketing director and one of the co-founders of the company, designed that app. And he's actually reworking the entire app to add new content on it. So make sure you get that app on your phone. And if you're a Titanium member, make sure you get the Dream Trips Titanium app on your phone. Yeah, gotta have it. Those are the essentials to building this business. So events, let's talk about events. So we are doing Zooms every Tuesday and Thursday nights, but if you are plugged into the Telegram group, then you know that there are Zooms happening literally every single day. Excuse me. So I urge you to get plugged into the Telegram groups, stay on top of all the notifications. At least check it once or twice a day, because there are so many important things that are taking place on Zoom. All of our communication goes through Zoom. So make sure that you stay plugged in. Excuse me, you gotta take a drink. Make sure you stay plugged into the Zoom webinars. If you want to share this business with friends, family, anyone that you want to see the Dream Trips concept, leverage Zoom. That's a beautiful thing. When we got started many years back, there was no Zoom. Zoom didn't exist. We built this business by going into people's living rooms. Obviously, now times are different. That's not how this business is currently being built. And a lot of the people that are shifting and using and leveraging Zoom are having massive success, which kind of it's kind of a segue into tonight's call, because the people that are going to be speaking on tonight's call, I know them personally, and I know they're building with Zoom, and they are having massive success. So we're going to talk about that later tonight. But just know that Team Fire does a Zoom every Tuesday night and Thursday night. Mr. Bobby Brooks does a fantastic job on the Tuesday night Zooms. And I know Victoria has been doing the Thursday nights, and they switch back and forth. But if you want to do a presentation on Zoom for us as well, please let us know. There's a Telegram group with a schedule for all the Zoom presentations, and throw your name in there. We'd love to hear your story and love to hear your presentation. So our next regional event, our next event for the company is going to be Bootcamp. It is going to be a virtual event. Originally, it was supposed to be our first live event from all the stuff that has been happening. But here's what happened. Spoke with Martin. The venue that we are going to do Bootcamp in basically told World Ventures that they had until the day before to make a decision whether or not they would like to move on and actually do the event, because they have a maximum capacity with social distancing. They have a maximum capacity of 5,000 people, and we already have far more than that registered for Bootcamp. So they were trying to accommodate more than 5,000 people. They told World Ventures that they had until the Friday before Bootcamp to decide whether they wanted to keep the event or not. And World Ventures obviously felt that that was too much of a risk, with everyone flying to Dallas and everyone flying to Texas, I should say. They felt that that would be too risky because of all the uncertainty that's happening with COVID-19. So the event, it's going to be online. I personally love the online events. They're not as good as the live events, but listen, training is everything. You can watch this from your PJs. If you want to, excuse me, my allergies are flaring up. If you want to dress up and put a suit and tie in your living room and attend the event, fantastic. If you want to put on your beach clothes, fantastic. It's 49 bucks. I have never missed a training event since I joined World Ventures. I'm sorry, that was a fib. I missed my first 3 training events. I didn't go to United, I didn't go to boot camp, and I did not go to the View in 2014. But in Momentum, January 2015, that was my very first event. And since then, I've been to, including regional trainings, 59 events in a row. 59 events in a row, never missed a training event. My wife and I actually moved our wedding date because it fell on a national training event. It was United in 2017. We actually moved our wedding 2 months earlier so we would not miss a company training event. And people looked at us like we're crazy, but here's the reality of it. It was crazy enough that it worked, because 6 months later, I no longer went back to my job. I was out of Bank of America the same year that we moved our wedding in order to attend an event. That was the same year that I left my job. And it's been almost 4 years now that I've been out of, well, 3 years now that I've been out of Bank of America. I haven't had a job, haven't had to go back to a job, thank God. So here's the thing, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? $49 is nothing. I've had conversations with people on our team, and I've explained to them why they need to invest $1,500 to get their hotels, their flights, and their tickets to go to their events. $1,500, $2,000. I've had these conversations. So a $49 conversation to me, it's almost like it's a joke. I'm like, if I had to explain to you why you should attend our $49 training event, this business is probably not for you. I would recommend you just do the membership and just travel, because only the people that are serious about building this business attend the national event. So don't miss our next training event. It's boot camp. It's happening next month. Get your ticket now. I'm not going to beat that anymore. Cool. So let's get to the best part of the call tonight. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen because I want for you to see a full screen of this couple. So here's the thing. Tonight's speakers come all the way from the West Coast. I met Lorenzo and Katriona. I call her K because of her Instagram hashtag K, confession time. So here's the thing. I love this couple. We actually met at a national event. Ironically enough, we met at a national event just talking about that. And here's the thing. When I met this couple, we actually connected on Instagram, and they approached me at a national event, and they were like, hey, man, we see you on Instagram, and, we like what you're doing. So we started talking, and man, their energy was incredible. These couple you could tell they had God all over them. You could tell them that they were just great people, and we clicked. We connected right away. And I'm actually, let me see. Are you on the call? I want to make sure that
Yeah, is there JC?
We're here. All right, cool. You guys are on. Awesome. I want to make sure you hear all the good things I'm saying about you, because it's so good. And here's the thing, when we came back, I remember you guys were, I don't even think you were senior reps. Were you guys senior reps already?
Yeah, we're just about senior reps.
Yeah, you were senior reps, right? Yeah, because we were going for marketing director. We were making our marketing director run, and you guys were making your director run. So anyways, we come back to Florida, and back then we had this crazy idea. Listen how bad we wanted to build this business. All right. Back then we had this challenge called the Barefoot Challenge. It was Team Fire's first team challenge. And the Barefoot Challenge went like this. If you didn't show someone the plan, if you didn't show World Ventures to a friend or someone that day, if you didn't do one presentation, you had to walk a mile barefoot with no shoes on. You had to go outside and walk a mile barefoot with no shoes on. That's how bad we wanted to rank up. I cannot tell you the incredible shape Victoria was in when I was watching Victoria in Jacksonville. Listen, Victoria, I love you to death, but you walked so many miles, girl. You must have had feet of stones back then. Like Fred Flintstone. I had like Fred Flintstone feet by the time we hit marketing director. We walked so many miles, but here's the thing, we wanted it so bad. And then you guys saw that on Instagram, and you said, you know what, can we hop on the Barefoot Challenge with you guys? And you did it. And man, Lord and behold, we hit marketing director, you guys hit director, and now you guys are marketing directors. And you caught up to us. That's incredible. So listen, I know I'll tell you a little bit about Lorenzo. Lorenzo is a former U.S. what do you call it, U.S. Air Force. He was part of the U.S. Air Force. He's retired now. He's been part of this concept now for 5 years. Been on 50 plus vacations. He's made multiple five figures, part time, spare time, part time on the side, and then obviously his lovely wife. Katriona, she was in retail, and I come from a retail background. I was in retail before I went into banking. I worked at Best Buy for 9 years. I did retail for 9 years. I know the life. I know the crazy hours. Um, so I mean, I get it. And you also been part of World Ventures now for 4 plus years. You also left your career to do this full time, and now you guys are both doing this together. And I'm so excited to have you guys on and just share your story, man. We're gonna just talk back and forth, but just start off by telling us a little bit more about yourselves and where you are now today.
Awesome. Thanks, JC. You can hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much, JC and Leonie, for having us on the call. We're so honored, and you guys are great friends. We met you guys. You guys know the story, and we're so grateful for the relationship that we have together. And again, congrats on the baby girl on the way.
I know.
And we're super excited for you guys. So for us guys, Lorenzo and Katriona Aromin, we're from the North Bay area, near Napa Valley, San Francisco, in California. And for me, I saw this concept when I was 19. I'm 24 now. My wife is 22 now. And I came into this concept as a family. My parents introduced this to me right when I was still in the military back in 2015. And at the time, I wasn't really looking for anything else different to do. All I wanted to do is, have an honorable lifestyle, career to make my family proud. I initially went to the military so that I can actually have school paid for, so that I didn't have to be a burden to my parents. So that's the reason why I wanted to get out and do all that stuff. Obviously, travel the world and make money. But little did I know I was actually getting overworked and underpaid being in the military. I don't know if you guys know anybody who has that type of lifestyle, but you're owned by the government. You have no freedom, and they put you wherever you want to go. You're like a pin on a map. And obviously, I was getting real tired of it. The people that I was surrounded with was real toxic. It was super. It was something that I didn't really see myself being what we call a lifer. 20 plus years being retired in that career field. And obviously I got introduced to World Ventures right when I was 19 years old, and it expanded my mindset to see that, hey, there's things much more out there. And I always knew I wanted to do something great. In high school, I played basketball, I was a dancer, I was very creative. I was an entrepreneur. I flipped shoes. I was cutting hair during high school. So I had that entrepreneur mindset already. And I just really took that with me when I started World Ventures. So when we started, we took 2 back-to-back vacations in the first month. I actually met our mentor, international marketing director, Terry Camp. He came out to our town, and actually he casted the vision. We saw his lifestyles. Hey, that's somebody I want to follow. And obviously he told me, hey, if you're working a job, right, and that person that is at your job, maybe they're the best at their job. If that lifestyle that they have, is that something that you want? If it's a no, then you might want to do something different. And for me, the people who are retiring from the military, they didn't have the lifestyle that I wanted, because I was exposed to ventures. They were actually retiring after 20 plus years, and they're actually going back to another job. And to me, I was like, no, bro, that's not retirement, right? So obviously, I was so sick and tired of being told what to do. When I was deployed, I was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, 1 day off. And I was maximizing my downtime when it came to building this business. While I was deployed back in 2015, actually 2016, my parents who had brought me into this, they had hit director in Miami boot camp. And it was a pivotal moment for me. And while I was out there, I was actually still doing travel partying, showing people the business, because I was super passionate about it, because I knew I wasn't going to do this for the rest of my life. So, for about the first 3 years, like JC was saying, I was doing this part-time. Was able to hit a senior rep by myself. And then obviously I came across, going through the numbers, recruiting, prospect people left and right. I was able to actually meet my lovely wife with this idea. I was, reaching out to people on social media. We met through mutual friends. And at first it was a business partnership, and obviously it grew into a marriage. But, she'll pretty much tell you a little bit about where she was at. She saw this from me while I was still deployed in the Middle East, and then she actually got in because of that. So go ahead, babe.
Okay. So, with my part, I actually was not looking for anything different. When I was 18, I saw this idea, and I just graduated high school. I went straight to a community college. My plan was to go to a university, but God had different plans for me. And so at that time, I was working two different jobs, 9 to 5, Hollister and Vans. I was completely comfortable just because I enjoyed the employee discounts. And I was just like, you know what? I need to date somebody. Like, I was just looking for somebody, and I was so what is it? I was just like, you could say thirsty. And so when my friend came up to me history class of senior year, I was on her Snapchat. You guys know Snapchat, and she said, "Oh, there's this guy that said you're cute." I said, "Okay, let me see. What does he look like?" And then she pulled up his Instagram. I was like, "Oh wow!" The first thing I saw was his muscles. Okay, and then I was like, "Give him my number." And then the day of my graduation party, I was working and I found his Instagram. I was like, you know what? He still didn't text me. So I'll just DM him. And I said, hey, my name is Kay. Nice to meet you. And then now that we talk about it, he was forming me during that time, but I thought he was flirting back with me. And I was going on with it. And then after that, about a week later, actually a couple days later, I started having feelings for him. And I was like, we should meet up. He's like, I wish, but I'm actually deployed in Dubai. And I said, it's fine. I'll wait for you. Right? This girl, I just met him a couple days. And then we were talking and talking. And I think the second week that we were talking, he hit me with the traveling thing. I'm like, okay, cool. Whatever it is. He said I was gonna be his travel bae or travel partner. Sorry. And then he sent me a video. I didn't see a presentation and I didn't really understand the video. I joined because it was either membership or making money. I joined because he was really good looking. And from there, I went for the gold. I invested $300 on the membership only, and I had $5 left in my bank account. And I didn't even use the membership until he came back. And then as we hung out, the feelings grew even more, and that's why I stuck around, which is insane. And then we took our trip to Vegas, and then I went to New York. But I joined the business side because I found out he was going to San Diego, and I wanted to come with him. And he said, well, you're not a rep, so you can't come. I'm like, what? Okay. So when he was gone, I upgraded to the business spot. And then from there, I was just with him the whole entire time. I never left his side. And now it's been awesome. We've been able to get over the bumps. And there was a time and point where I wanted to give up, but God just moved in his life, in his heart. And then it drew me closer. And now we just chase God together with building the business.
Yep.
Man, I did not know all that. That's a great story. First of all, there's so many nuggets in there. I got to touch on a couple of them. First one is he was forming you. So let's talk about forming. So forming is the type of conversation you have with someone when you're asking them about their family, their occupation, recreation, so things they like to do for fun, and then their motivation, whether it's money or motivation. So it spells out the acronym FORM. For those single males or single females that are watching this right now, tell you, you have to tread very lightly when you're forming someone, because it can seem like you are interested in them in ways that they may not, in more than just business. And here's the thing, my rule when it comes to dating, listen, when it comes to dating and network marketing, I have a rule: don't date your downline. They mostly end up quitting. Trust me, most of them end up quitting. I should maybe rephrase that. All of them end up quitting, except the one that you marry. So the only way you're gonna sponsor somebody in your downline is if your intention is to marry them. This is the teachable moment here, because you could get somebody into your business who could potentially be an IMD, but you're just looking to date, you're just looking to mess around, and that person will quit because they get feelings for you. And then you not only block their blessing, but now you just killed a whole entire organization that could have flourished. So dating, great teachable point there. But you guys are married. You guys are big Jesus Christ followers, and I know that was God's plan for sure. And I got to tell you, I mean, you guys are an inspiration to us. I mean, when I was 22 and 24, I was not thinking about a 3-year marriage already, or building a business together. That was not where my mindset was at 24 years old. So you guys are, I mean, it just goes to show you the power of network marketing and personal development, and what it can do, and God, and really God, what it can do in your life. So you guys are going through explosive growth. I know you have senior reps, coming up left and right, and you got 3-star reps growing, and you obviously marketing directors now. So you have over 400 active customers in your organization and growing. So tell us a little more about that, the journey to marketing director, how you guys have been building, what has led to this explosive growth.
Yeah, bro. So it pretty much started in January after Momentum. When the silver membership dropped, it was a big game changer for us, because obviously our demographic, from the millennials to, the Gen Xers, most of them, sometimes they can't see the vision of spending like $100, $200, $300, and that silver membership actually opened that door for a floodgate to open. So right when Momentum ended, our team started taking off. We had one of our, personals. Her name is Carissa. She went from 0 left, 0 right, all the way to pretty much a senior rep in about a month, in 30 days. So that was pretty awesome. So literally in the last, I want to say since January, we've been growing like 100% month over month. And in May, obviously we're going to close out June soon, but we had our biggest month yet in May. So since January, we popped about, 4 senior reps, 2 3-star reps, a handful of 2-star reps, and a whole handful of qualified and 1-star reps as well. And how that came about was obviously from the beginning, we were committed. And when it came to being consistent, we are the most consistent people on the team. And we don't say that out of arrogance, but we say that because, one, we don't have day jobs, obviously, but 2, we have nothing better to do, because this right here is pretty much what we do. We own this. We have complete ownership of our business. And obviously we have a lot of support. Being entrepreneurs, we live very, very, very low below our means. So we don't really have to have, extraordinary type of lifestyle. We're Christ followers, so we don't really like flashy type of stuff. But at the same time, when you're trying to build a business, you have to make those sacrifices up front if you want to get, stuff, if you're a stuff kind of person later on. So with that, guys, we came into the mindset of being humble with humility and just pretty much hard work and grit. In the last 3 months, together we put about 20 personals in, and out of that grew to those ranks that have been popping in month over month. So, my wife is a cold market killer on social media queen. We built our social media profiles pretty much cater to those who want more to life, and that's how we're able to build a brand, especially with our brand Phenoms as our team name, and be able to create a movement on social media, especially since we made the transition from Zoom. On Zoom, it's all about launch events. Every time they get started, we're talking about launch events all the time. If you guys are using the breakout room feature on Zoom, that's a very, very key thing that we're using. So, it came in with everything. When it came down to that moment after Momentum was pretty much the pivotal point in our business. So.
And on top of that too, the whole pandemic that was happening, a lot of people saw it as like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do that. But it was the lid that they had within themselves, especially the belief that like decreased as time grew by. But we saw it as like, we're capitalizing on what's happening right now. And we want to cast that vision to other people like, hey, even though people aren't traveling right now, people are going to travel, because it's not like we have to convince you to. And it's allowed both of us to take time in the beginning of the year and end of the year too, to really grow closer together and play our roles as husband and wife along with the team and how we can help them. But it's been such a huge blessing, because if we were to hit marketing director the day or the month that we wanted to, we just were not prepared. Like we could hit it, but we were just gonna go back like super fast. But this has allowed us to break through our lids. It allowed us to force ourselves to grow, because no one else is going to do it for us but us. And our consistency is seen throughout our whole team Unstoppable, our team within too. And they're just vibing and riding off our consistency, and we're inspiring them to just keep going, because it's worth the while. Like it took us 1 year and 6 months from director to hit marketing director.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, once again, I mean, you guys are I hope the people that are listening in are like trying to, taking some notes and grabbing some stuff. I mean, I'll touch on some of the things that you said that really landed with me. One, when you talk about living below your means, especially, as an entrepreneur, that's key. I mean, if this is like any other business, everyone, in the beginning, you have to sacrifice. You have to reinvest back into your business. The beautiful thing about reinvesting back into your business here is that you're usually reinvesting into trips and you're reinvesting into going on vacations. But here's a teachable moment that I wish someone that a mentor would have taught me when I first started. When I started making residual incomes, I had a full-time six-figure job. So on that full-time six-figure job, I started adding a director check every month on top of that. And what I did with that director check is I went and I bought a Porsche. I went and I bought a Porsche, and I was like the man with a $90,000 car, and life looked like it was incredible. But here's the thing. I was living right at my means, making all that money, paying all those taxes, and I was right at the peak of what I could afford. And the crazy thing is, I didn't have anyone that sat down with me at that age and told me, hey, no, this is the wrong way to do it. You need to be frivolous with your money. You need to be a good steward of your money. You need to understand that as an entrepreneur, you got to put money away for a rainy day. And I lived I was making over 100,000 plus a year, living check to check, six figures plus, living check to check. And I'm telling you, I mean, that's such a teachable moment there. And the other thing that you talked about was the lid, because a lot of times we hit a rank and we immediately go back to the previous rank. And there's always going to be attrition in any business, any restaurant business, any doctor's office, any lawyers. You're going to have customers that use your services once and they never come back, or they cancel, or they switch to another provider. That happens in every business. Network marketing is not immune to attrition. So yes, you're gonna have people that are gonna quit your team. You're gonna have people reps that are gonna cancel. You're gonna have reps. Most reps are not gonna cancel because they don't want to do this. They're gonna cancel because they don't believe they can do this. So if you are at a lid in personal development and leadership, mainly in leadership, if you're at a lid in leadership where you can't stop your reps from leaving because you're not having those powerful conversations, you're not having those one-on-ones where, you really pour into them because of what you learn, you're going to go backwards. And in this business, you don't hit a rank, you grow into ranks. And you guys are now marketing directors. You're growing into marketing directors, and soon you'll be regional marketing directors, and then national marketing director on the internet. I know it because I know that's the kind of commitment you have to building this business. So I love that you guys touch up on all those things. Let me ask you, tell me more about when you get someone started, like what's the immediate actionable steps that you guys are doing to duplicate and grow your team?
Right. So yeah. So we since the pandemic has hit and everything became online, we started outsourcing. So a lot of times people think that leadership is just talking, but it's about the movements, about how you move, how you lead people into action. And pretty much our steps are kind of like a checklist. Is obviously like how you're doing earlier, JC, with the apps. Hey, download the Telegram, Zoom, WB Mobile, Dream Trips. Make sure you know how to operate those and log into them. And obviously, the basics of what the training, pretty much always says, like, hey, make your top 20 list. Who are the people that you want to show this to right now? If you had a flat tire, who are you gonna call? Who are you gonna go show right now? One, especially with the power of Zoom, guys, you can literally get to your ride or die quick as humanly possible. So we want to have an exposure right at the gates in the first 24 hours, obviously. Not even score 24, but score in the first 24 minutes, if that. Obviously, we train them inviting. So what makes a leader what makes a professional from an amateur, guy, is if you can teach people how to teach the system that you have, then you have pure clones, duplication happening on your team. But here's the thing: if you yourself aren't confident that you're not teaching another person well, it's pretty much goes back to the fact that would you follow you? Like, you have to ask yourself that, and you have to have an honest question, honest like reflection on yourself. Because if you know that, hey, what would I do? You have to have some empathy. What would I do if I was starting myself? And with that, guys, a lot of times, my wife, she goes out and she brings the people in, and I'm creating the systems, and we're a good tag team. But from that, we're creating the system of, teaching them how to invite. Again, we're outsourcing it to videos on Vimeo, and actually having them tell us when to finish the movie or finish the video. It's kind of like downloading information into their head. So our business becomes very more productive and more efficient that way. And obviously, setting up their launch event in the first 72 hours, getting that set up, even if they don't, I don't know. Sometimes people say, hey, I don't know if my friends are available. Like, hey, all I need is you. All I need is your 40 minutes of your time. We'll set out a date. And if things don't work out, then we'll play it by ear. But for the most part, we set a launch event, we shoot it out to our team on our Telegram, and then we promote it to the team, and people hop on, and they end up inviting 10 to 20 people at a time, because we taught him how to invite to the launch event effectively. And obviously with that, prior to the launch event, we're teaching him how to do the 3-step setup, edification, all through videos. And obviously here, when it comes to, setting up money, because obviously we make money in this business, right? You're like, hey, set up your direct deposit on your own. We have a video on how to do it. If you want to get paid, set up your direct deposit. And for the people who actually take the initiative to do that on their own, it shows that they're coachable, they're teachable, and obviously they want to make money. So then those are people that we work with. And just to kind of, what you were talking about earlier, JC, with the attrition, we have a 12-minute overview video on, pretty much all the levels of membership. So they're exposed to, from A to Z, from silver to titanium. And then from there, we give them social proof. Obviously, when they get announced on our Telegram group chat, people are welcoming them all across the board. We highly leverage social media. We tell them to follow hashtag. We have our own hashtag for our own team, hashtag Phenoms. One of the more generic hashtags for World Ventures is hashtag share your sign. And there's, you can use that hashtag to really expose social proof with that as well. So,
and to add on to everything that my husband was saying, whenever anyone does do the business, we share with our team, we say, hey, the only thing that I want you to focus on is one word: inviting. Get good at that. That's the only thing I want you to do. I want you to put me to work as much as you can, and I will help you build a check. And their belief is like, okay, cool. Because it's like, in the beginning, they get overwhelmed, trust me. But if you just condense it to where they're just focusing on one thing, you know how the human mind works, they're going to just be like, okay, let's do it. It's easy. Let's start getting all these people. And when they have their launch event, they're like, wow, this is so easy. And then we have another one. And so we're just guiding them baby steps, and they have more belief in themselves that this is not hard.
Yeah, and so I'm glad you touched upon that, because I have to do a couple more questions for you guys. This business is not hard. It's simple. I mean, it's a simple business. I just think it's so easy to do that it's very easy not to do it. And that's the issue with this business, because it's really all we're doing is sending either a text or a phone call to a friend. Hey, are you busy right now? No, cool. Can you hop on this Zoom? Here's the number. Here's the link. I'm excited about this project I'm working on. I'm just gonna run it by you. Get your feedback. It doesn't have to be like, hey, what are you doing right now? Are you going to travel in the next 90 days? Like, you don't have to get so creative. You can literally just invite your friend, be like, hey, I'm working on something really exciting. Can I get 30 minutes of your time? Can you hop on this Zoom right now? Just ask your friends. And if they can't at that very moment in time, put them to the bottom of the list and ask the next one. That's why it's important that you build a list of contacts, so you have more than one person to invite. I have a question for you, Katriona. For couples that are watching this right now, because there's a couple of them, what's some tips that you could give us building this business as a husband and wife? What are some of the lessons that you've learned that you want to share, so people can avoid making the same mistakes, or can learn from that?
Very good question. I have a lot, but I'll point out some stuff. So one phrase I love is, you're not here to compete, but you're here to complete. We're here to complete each other. Whatever his weaknesses are will be my strengths. We're just complementing each other. And when you're working with an alpha, a redhead, you don't want to approach the situation if you're like heated with anger and all these things. You have to be the bigger person to just simmer down. And trust me, as I am red also, but it just clashes sometimes, so we disagree and we see different viewpoints. But it's good to just be humble, have humility, and be able to just hear out on each other's advices or suggestions. When it comes to building a business, you just really have to focus on what your strengths and weaknesses are, and focus and stay in your own lane. Because I tried going in his lane and nothing worked, and that's why we would argue so much. But being an entrepreneur, again, it's not easy. We have to make sure, again, like we're on the same page. And what else? Yeah, for the most part, I've just been focused on getting people, and then he does the training. And so I'm just reaching out to people as much as I can, and he does all the other work, and he trains me on it, and I train other people on it, because he's focused on the training system. He's wanting to perfect it. He's making a lot of videos, and so I respect that. And even though we may not have time to, do the things that we want, like dating wise, there was a time where I was pissed off because it's like, we're working so much, and I was getting comfortable. But I learned that it's good to just sacrifice a few seasons of our life and the time that we have together, because like he always tells me, a lot of people that are couples, they don't see each other. Like they just say hi and bye in the morning and they go to work. And it's just good to say that I'm super grateful that we are doing this business alongside, because I do get to see him every day. We see each other 24/7. We clash heads all the time, but the humility and the commitment that we have is way greater than focusing on ourselves like that, because we do have a lot of people that we're leading. So it's just trial and error, just making sure that we learn from our mistakes. You want anything?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was actually perfect. A lot of times people want to get their significant others involved, and then when they finally do get involved, they clash heads, or they disagree with the way that the business should be built. And I mean, that's a great teachable moment there. That's a lesson that Leonie and I learned, as a matter of fact, about our second year in the business. She's great at talking to people. She's great at cold marketing. She's great at saying hello to strangers, and she's great at training people and getting them started. She's very even though she swears she's not a green, she has a very green attitude towards this business. And I am, on the other hand, I like being in front of it. I like to do the presentations. I like for her to gather the crowds, and I like to entertain the crowds and do the presentations and do the song and dance and be in front of the room. And for a long time, she was like, "Man, I want to be a better presenter, and I want to be in front of the room like you." But over time, we learned that that was my strength, and her strength was to get people started, to help them, to coach them, to work with them on a one-on-one basis. And whenever I try to do what she's good at, the business suffers. And whenever she tries to do what I'm good at, the business suffers. So doing what you're good at and complementing each other, it'll shave years of trial and error off of this business. And egos, I mean, you got to check your egos at the door and understand that the paycheck is going to come to the same bank account, and then the paycheck's going to go to the same household, and really check that, because that can be a very big thing. So I'm so glad to hear a 24-year-old and a 22-year-old say that, because I mean, that's incredible. You guys are so, first of all, I just want to, I don't want to toot your horn or anything, but I got to tell you, I'm 32 years old. I'll be 33. If I was where you guys are right now at 24, I would probably be worth like 9 figures right now at this time. By the time you guys are our age and they're in your 30s, you're going to have impacted so many people's lives. You're going to have made so much money. Life is going to be so much different, because I tell you, me personally, I've seen what just a few years of dedicated, personal development does. And if I had started at you guys' age, oh my goodness. So I'm so happy to have met you guys. I'm so happy that God placed you in our lives. And I really want to thank you for coming on and really, speaking to our team. And we are very selective to the people that we open our doors to, because that's another lesson for another day. That can also destroy your business, who you edify and who you bring around. So, I'm so proud to say that I'm super proud of you guys, and thank you for coming on tonight and sharing your story with us. I mean, it's incredible.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us,
It's
JC.
an honor.
Yeah, obviously, we have a great relationship, and it's just the beginning, and obviously everything that's been happening is not even just us, really, and we don't really take all the credit. All the glory goes to God. We're just the vessel, really, but obviously this is our team behind us that are putting the work with us. So we're doing what we know how to do, so that our future can be well off, generational wealth, creating that legacy. And man, it's a journey. So
we're only getting started, really.
Yeah, you guys are really only getting started. And just so everyone's clear, like, they are not in our organization, but you can reach out to them, connect with them. We open our doors to them, they open our doors to us. Listen, we don't benefit financially from what they do. They don't benefit financially from what we do. That's the beautiful thing about this business, is you can build relationships, you can build business partnerships and friendships, even when money is not involved. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. So I love you guys for it. And thank you so much for coming on tonight. Once you hit RMD, we'll have you back on.
R&D trip 2021, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
All of us. Let's get it.
Let's see who hit it first.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. Oh, there's a challenge. All right. We may have to bring the barefoot challenge back for this one.
Let's get that back on. Let's go.
All right, everyone. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I know the call ran a little long, but I hope it was worth it. These guys deliver so much great content. We do these calls every Sunday night. We appreciate your leadership out there, everyone. We love you. God bless. We'll see you on the field.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Clay.
Not everybody, great content.
Thank you, guys.